does, in my opinion, have some serious overarching fucking consequences. Some of the shit you really got to figure out. Sometimes, like in my opinion, recently I fucked up pretty bad, I have to say, and I had to pull myself out of something before I got much deeper in it. And so you know, like I partook and dealt with my issue, looked at the issue from a different viewpoint, and with that, I was able to solve my problem fast enough that it didn't become a bigger problem. I'm not saying that it doesn't have a place. I'm saying it's dangerous to depend on it.
Dangerous like Fox News.
Dangerous like Fox News. Perfect example. It's not directly dangerous to you immediately right now, but there are long-term consequences that sometimes you won't even see.
But someday,
good way of putting it.
Someday, I will do a podcast while tripping. I promise my very small audience. Welcome back to the Not Televised Revolution. That's the joke at the top that I pretty much promise you. We had a busy weekend. We had a busy weekend, brother.
Yeah, that was a busy weekend. I don't really think I'm going to be doing too much humorous shit on this particular weekend because
just the one joke at the top. Don't expect too much from me. It's like expecting too much from alcohol.
Okay.
I used to be guilty of that. I really did. There's a serious side to what we do. There definitely is.
Oh, you know, and sometimes it's somber.
And sometimes I'm not drinking when I do the show, and you'll be able to tell because I'll be like, okay, and just let the other person talk. There's our joke quota.
I'll stay out of it. Anyway. So how you doing? How you feeling? Are you doing it? Are you know?
Well,
any existential dread to report?
I'm actually definitely going to move out of Minnesota, not because I want to, but because a fellow person involved in our podcast wants to bring me on board his ship, even though it is in Texas. That should actually provide some excitement for me.
Hell yeah.
Either way, if I'm in Minneapolis, I'll get to go to protests and get shot with tear gas, or if I go to Texas, I'll get to face hurricanes and right wingers. It's gonna be an awesome few months either way. Years maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. Texas might be kind of stable, but who knows, man? I mean, really, I highly doubt that there's going to be a place that's untouched. So we'll see.
Okay, so I know it's really important to remember his name. A black man was trying to break up a fight, and he got shot in the back 7 times. Don't trust me as a news source.
What?
Don't trust me as a news source, because I usually spend like a whole day preparing for this stuff. Jacob Blake. Jacob Blake.
Jake. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. That's what you were reaching for. Yeah, I actually had it here. Yeah, Jacob Blake is Jacob Blake. That was an absolute tragedy. I honestly I can't really imagine. I don't know. I don't know what this cop might have possibly been thinking, and
That's because you don't do steroids. See, I got the jokes covered. Don't worry about it.
But nor did that guy. I mean, did you see that dude was like? Did you see his little pooch around his gut? That would have been a pretty that was at least a free jelly donut. At least.
Oh yeah, well I mean, at least he's on paid vacation. I mean, administrative leave.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, hey, the taxpayers of Kenosha are gonna pay his family and him, and I, yeah, it's unfortunately expected, and I mean, I guess like bringing attention to it, looking at it, talking about it, thinking about it is going to ensure that I don't get desensitized to it. But I feel that like that, man, it's just all fine. At least obviously nobody else, nobody's getting desensitized to it. Everybody's still being very human about it, and
right. I think
I'm glad.
quote unquote normies are actually getting more woke. I mean, I think even myself, every video gets harder to watch, and
yeah,
I don't even.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on pulling up this video unless you want me to, but I was planning on pulling up the right wing's response. I was planning on pulling up that kid that drove from Illinois to Wisconsin. I wanted to pull that up and talk about that.
I'm probably going to shock you pretty hard
Go.
when I say that I'd rather bring up Jacob Blake's video and kind of leave the other kid. I can't even remember his name right now. Now that I think about it, Kyle something. I think maybe. Am I wrong?
That's right. There's so much coming at us. There's so much coming at us, folks. Yeah, it's hard.
Either way, that kid, I'd rather not. I've got a very, very different opinion about that. So, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah. We are collaborators here, so let's show the clip with Jacob Blake, and we can talk over it. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. 138.
I don't remember if there was anything to hear. Oh wait, there was. There was that lady. I remember her scream. That's right.
CTV News. That doesn't sound too mainstream. All right. Viewer discretion. Okay. Can you hear it?
No, I can't. But that's okay. I'm fine. I saw it.
He's being chased around the car.
I'm honestly.
He opens the door.
Yeah.
All I did was try to walk away.
Yeah. That's kind of the problem,
Wow.
that right there.
Wow.
Yes, I on one side I understand that the police are supposed to enforce the law in theory and so on and so forth, but on the other hand, man, when enforcing the law is shooting a person in the back, I don't see any justification for it. I just don't.
Right on, my brother.
Everybody says, well, he might have had a gun in the car and so on and so forth. Man, if there was a gun in that fucking car, we would all know it. There would be no doubt in any of our minds whatsoever. We'd all have a picture of that freaking gun emblazoned in our head. The mainstream media would make sure that everybody knew that there was a gun in that car. The fact that it's all just in the wild conjecture and rumors section of the internets means that it's probably not true by now. I mean,
well, yeah, and even with mainstream media, even when mainstream media has to admit that all that they had was he admitted to a knife being in his car. I'm with you, man. it's far beyond reason, which is why there was protests in Kenosha.
Yeah. And I totally stand with the community in Kenosha. Pardon me. And
he's not from the Midwest, y'all.
And yeah, my heart goes out to you guys out there. That's all I have right now, but yeah.
All right, so the right-wing response. We both forget this kid's name right now.
Kyle starts with an R. Hold on a second. Rittenhouse. Here it is. Kyle Rittenhouse.
Kyle Rittenhouse. Here we go. I
get this. I'm probably going to get a lot of hatred. So I'm just going to say it. I get the sickening feeling that I should be feeling sorry for this kid.
Oh yeah. No, he's surrounded by bad influences. Yeah,
I am a freaking. Okay. I'm a fucking dad. You know, I got a kid his age, literally, and I can't imagine thinking it was a good idea to bring my armed son to a place where he might need arms.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he went there without his dad's permission. I hope. Actually.
I'm.
Imagine that.
Okay.
My head did go there.
Okay.
What if his dad
well
is
then
good
here
with this?
I might.
That's even more reason to feel sorry for him.
No. You know I think it was actually his mom. His mom, from what I'm understanding, was a single mother who was also possibly there and armed and
in contact with the police.
I don't know if she was in contact with the police. I don't know.
Maybe on some higher up level.
All I know is that, you know, all I know is what everybody else knows. 17-year-old kid. Some things went down. Some shots went off, and this kid ended up killing another guy, or another two people, and injuring a third. The videos are really grainy. The whole freaking thing is really hard to kind of decipher, and where my narrative comes in, or where my narrative comes in, has absolutely no explanation for how this kid standing in front of the gas station came into conflict with a group of protesters. So I have no idea what happened. I am not going to get into self-defense or any of that bullshit. But that kid blurs the line between perpetrator and victim. And because his mother, how did the kid get the rifle?
He had to have help for sure. He was 17.
Yes. Well, the thing is that he's got pictures all over his face, or had pictures all over his Facebook of him and the rifle. He had a picture of him and his mother and the rifle.
Holy shit! You just set me off. You just set me off. Censorship of people that are making valid points, but censorship of people showing off the rifle that they own illegally. That doesn't happen.
Well, actually, in Illinois, I'm not from Illinois, but I've heard that I know that here, if I were to give my son a rifle, like a hunting rifle, I could, under my own gun license. I know that would be fine. That would be totally acceptable to do. It's not necessarily that he owned it illegally. The thing is that I become legally liable for the things that he does with the gun.
All right. So the chance would be arrest Kyle's mom. That's right. Protest this weekend.
I don't know. I'm very deeply libertarian, not a libertarian, but very deeply libertarian. I'm very, very much, kind of leave each other out of it, and kind of a guy. And I'm not going to start asking, or I'm not going to get into the burn these people or any of that. Nothing like that. But I will say that, damn, I feel for that kid.
All right, so I'm
And
gonna mute the volume since you can't hear it anyways, but I'm gonna go ahead and show the video of what this Kyle kid did. He was
yeah,
running
yeah,
away
well,
from people after he shot somebody. He was shooting them in quote unquote self defense. He's walking away and he sprays the crowd while walking backwards towards the police. He obviously sees them coming.
yeah. I mean, I'm not here defending any of that. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying, like,
He was at the gas station, I
like,
think. No, he's
like,
running
you
towards the
know,
cops.
giving at that point, I mean, that really is a blurring of that line between victim and perpetrator. It really is. That's if the scariest version of that story turns mom into essentially a Manson.
Well, yeah, I mean, he didn't come up with these ideas on his own, and his love of like Blue Lives Matter, like that didn't come. I mean, he didn't just see like some superhero movie and decide that he's gonna go shoot people about it. Like, it's a cultural influence that wrecked this kid's head. I agree with you.
Yeah, I do, and I think that there's something to it, but I don't know. Like I you know, I really am. I am a major anarchist and everything like that, and I'm not. And additionally, I'm not never gonna frickin' tell the levers of power to come down on another another working class stiff ever. That just ain't me.
That's a really
But
good point. Like when
I
they just pit us against each other, this is the kind of stuff that will happen.
yeah, I mean that's it right there. Like I'm entirely staying out of it. I feel sorry. I feel really bad for the Rittenhouses. I feel really bad for the place. I feel really bad for freaking entire community of Kenosha. I feel really bad. The whole fucking thing sucks. I will say though, a few days later, the events in Portland kind of make me believe that what Rittenhouse did might tip off something like a lot more intense, a lot more undesirable. Um, uh, so, I guess what I'm trying to say is,
Wow, this is gruesome. I'm looking through images, just random images.
yeah, yeah. I spent all weekend on it. I can't do it anymore. So. I just can't. I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say is like one group of people is trying to lionize the kid, the other group of people is trying to fucking demonize the kid. And I mean, either way, hero, villain, blah 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 blah. It doesn't matter. It's like two sides of the same coin. It's the same thing. They've turned this kid into an icon, and it's all pretty much over the course of a single weekend. And I think that in and of itself led to what happened in Portland just a few days later, where a group of right wing. I can't even call them right wing anymore. I just got to call them blue team, red team, because that's kind of what it's going. That's kind of what's going on. Although a lot of the BLM activists are not actually going to like vote or involve themselves in the blue team, and I'm with you there, man. I'm on it, so I get that, but it's just red team versus these guys, I guess. But because I don't know, a bunch of red team guys come out to deal with a bunch of activists by shooting not airsoft, paintball guns at them and pepperball guns. Pepper balls are not fun. They're not fun at all. But they're chemical warfare, just like pepper spray. But a person from inside the crowd that was being fired upon by the paintball and pepper ball guns shot back. One of the guys was killed, and that was all in just one weekend. I don't know which one it was, but I think we may have just heard the shot that heard around the world. I think this might devolve into something pretty intense. And I don't know. You guys might want to be ready for something objectively incredibly bad happening in November.
Yeah, man. Oh, this is really heavy.
Regardless of who wins. Regardless of who wins. Both sides are looking to fucking undermine any result that doesn't support them. You can see both political sides doing that. You can see Trump doing it through the post office and all of his rhetoric the whole time basically has been doing that. And you can see the Democrats also doing it. I mean, aside from just, not bothering to, trying to suppress their own vote and everything like that, but just like in New York, some crazy number like 18% or something like that of the ballots were just thrown out immediately. They were just thrown out for the primary, the Democratic primary, just recently. And those were mail-in ballots just because it was all during the Corona pandemic and everything like that. So one side wants to either put off the election or invalidate it entirely. The other side wants to hold the election, of course, and then they can settle. Effectively, we're going into another. This is going to be decided by the Supreme Court. It's going to be middle of December before we know who's president 2021.
Oh yeah, I feel you on that one. Wow.
And when the Supreme Court declares who the winner was, I don't know if either side will accept the other at this point.
I just wanted to say that I know we've been doing like a 20-minute podcast so far, but it feels like an hour. It's been very thick.
Oh, are we only really 20 minutes into it?
Yeah, right? Just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh. Well, there's only 10 more. At least I shot all my bullets now. Hey, can we That's pretty much all I have to say about this week.
Don't worry, I'll send you 100 rounds from Texas when I get there.
Well, no. I'm saying I shot all my bullets. That's all I have to say about this weekend.
Wait, I thought you were only like 40 years old. You still got some bullets. Huh?
Yes. But once a king, always a king. But once a knight is enough.
I knew we could find room for jokes. This is such a hard environment to exist in, but that's part of the brand, part of the TNT brand. We're gonna do that for our followers. All 20 of them.
I'm not in my 20s anymore. Once a night's enough.
Well, I wish the same applied to America.
Yeah. For real.
All right, well, shoot.
So I'd really interesting. I would be really interested in hearing what you think about what the diddlio or where we're at is.
Well, yeah, perfect. I really think that the 1% only does well when they pit the 99% against each other because they're smart enough to know that 99 is a bigger number than 1. So I think this has been going on a long time, and people have been talking about it a long time, especially since Occupy Wall Street. That made it very clear, and that's why even Obama sent in people to crack skulls then. And it's really sad, and that brings me to the NBA thing. The NBA was so mad about Blake that they protested their job as NBA players. They boycotted their own jobs.
Yeah, I
They went
I
on
forgot
strike.
about
That's the
that.
word I was looking for.
I
They
was
went on
so I
strike.
was so hopeful, and then Barry Obama gets on the phone and he's
Yeah.
like, "Nah, you just shut up and dribble."
Yep.
Like, you fucking asshole, man! You got to be kidding me. That would have been such a great boon.
Yeah, I know.
mean, like, oh, worker strikes suddenly,
Yeah.
freaking all of a sudden, man. That would worker strikes would have taken off like wildfire.
Well, yeah, and
And
in America, the only real
those
export
are
we
non-violent. Those are non-violent fucking methods to get
absolutely,
real change, real revolution.
especially since in America, the only thing we export these days is entertainment. So if the entertainers went
Yeah.
on strike, then
Yeah. Then
that
then
would
we're
mean
then
something.
we're really fucking up the economy.
Yeah.
Well, we also export dollars. That's another major thing. But you know,
That's definitely a whole other podcast.
yeah, that is definitely another podcast.
Yeah, I was really hopeful
Well,
for a day, and then I woke up the next day and found out, that Barack Obama went and quashed it. So, yeah, they're all the bad guys. Which brings me to the final thing I wanted to talk about in this crammed podcast: Movement for a People's Party. Did you see any of that?
I was going to. I was planning on it. I got on. I was like, oh man, Cornel West is gonna talk and everything like that.
Jimmy
I got
Dore,
on.
Jesse
I started
Ventura,
watching.
Nina Turner.
Yeah,
all the
I
best people,
I
all
just
the
started to
coolest people.
watch, and it was like the last 3 words of Cornel West's speech. I'm like, God damn it!
They put it back up like an hour later.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'll be back up. I'll get around to it. I just actually haven't gotten a chance to do it.
So you're like me. You saw it live on the Jimmy Dore show, and then didn't. Yeah. Had to go back and watch it later. I was actually lucky enough that I got to hear like the last hour live, which was a cool feeling. It really was.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was just so like, God, that was the guy I wanted to listen to, and that's like, I got 3 words.
Right.
Good night, brothers. That was it. Damn it. Like, man, these are the jokes.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're so busy working that you don't even get to tune in to Minute of Hope while it's live. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. I'm glad. Like, a lot of my compatriots around are in totally different situations. I'm incredibly glad that I'm busy. I feel lucky, even though I'm exhausted. I feel extremely lucky that, like, so far my year has been pretty insulated from 2020. It's been pretty good. I feel extraordinarily lucky. That's all. I see other people. I know other people. I see other stuff. I see so much. I just man, I can only do what I can do, and I can only help the people I can reach. So, but man, that's all. But I do. That's all I can do. Yeah.
Wow, yeah. I have this nervous tick where I laugh when like I'm scared. Like, if someone's like in my face and yelling, like I do this like little giggle. Like if it's a girlfriend or like a guy with a gun, like straight up pointing in my face, I'm gonna shoot you if you don't do what I say. I'd be like, that's how I feel about like a lot of these situations. Like
I'm. I mean, I still, still big picture. I think everything. I think
But that's because I look at it in the
we're.
bigger picture. Like, this is a small thing. This is not everything. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not
I know. This
actually
this is just
causing
the
you any
This is just the
harm,
minutia.
yo. I'm not actually hurting you. I just have something to say or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm more hopeful than afraid.
Cool.
I mean, like I know that the next decade or so is not going to be fun. It might be accelerated a little bit, but not by much. The internet is. I think a decade is an accelerated view. But I've been saying this. Like, look at post-imperial Spain. Look at post-imperial France or Germany or England or Portugal. The people, after a country is done doing its empire shit, the people end up doing much better. So we think that this structure collapsing is going to be bad for us,
No,
and
that's
it
just
might
what we've been
hurt.
taught.
It,
Yeah, I hear you.
it might hurt. It might create a little bit of short-term pain, but the structure collapsing will also create, because the Chinese word for crisis is opportunity. It'll create a massive amount of opportunity. And if we get control of our chains of production, then it will do extraordinary things for this country in the
Yes.
long run.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that it's going to be perfect. I'm not saying, Europe has its problems and so on and so forth and everything like that. But they're nothing like us. They're nothing like this. They're they they look like it, but that's because they learned back in the day that they have to do this every once in a while to keep their elites in check.
Right. Well, maybe this is just America going through puberty. And I think that's a kind of a good positive note to leave it on, Like, maybe we'll finally grow some nuts on our balls, or hairs on our
That'd be
nuts.
nice.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Yeah, like a little curly hair or two. That'd be
Not
great.
like we haven't tried before, but maybe we'll even start to
Yeah,
grow a
I know.
beard. Maybe we'll even like start to wear
Holy.
suits. I mean,
I don't know about that, man. I don't know about
maybe we'll
that.
start to learn to
I don't
flirt
know.
with girls. Oh.
Maybe we'll learn to flirt with girls, but I don't think America's ever going to be wearing a suit. And that's a good thing, too. That's a good thing, too. This is a working class country, and it needs to stay that way.
Well, we just need more jobs. I think
Yeah,
we've
we
covered all
just
the
need to
points.
put us in the...
Go.
Yeah, I think so, too. I can't think of anything else for this for this dumpster fire of a week, so I think we can leave it at that. You guys have a good week.
Um, yeah. Thanks. Thanks everyone for listening. I'm just gonna hit the stop record button while we're petering out, like before we have to
Okay.
send this show to the junkyard.
Oh, yeah.